So sorry about that. I'm going to try holding on to it again. So welcome everybody to the AO Scan Extra Help, and we're going to go over SEFIs today, which SEFI stands for Subtle Energy Frequency Imprinter. I think it's one of the most helpful parts of the AO scan once you learn how to use it. So I just want to say that the AO scanner is not a diagnostic tool. It is educational, and we're not medical professionals. We're not giving medical advice. We're just helping each other through this thing called life. And yeah, there goes the dog. So welcome everybody. And I sent out a bunch of videos. Did anyone have a chance to watch one or more of the videos on SEFI that I sent out?
Компьютер, там я только макушку видно. Сюда, еще, все. Маша, тебе. Не слышно.
Hi, Valentina. We can see you and we can hear you. Do you have a question or a comment, or should I mute you? I think I can mute you, right? Yeah, I'm gonna mute. All right. Let's see if anybody said in the chat that they got to watch the videos. No, I'll just get into some sharing and see if you guys have any questions from what I can share. All right, I don't see anything in the chat yet. I'm going to leave that open over there and watch for questions. And then I'm going to open a browser window. So we're going to share that browser. And then the way, if you wanted to look at your AO scans on a computer, you can do that on any device, not just a computer, and put in app.aoscan.com. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, I was just signed in on my device. So if you're signed in on your device, it will just make you sign in with your username and password. And then it'll go to the last person that you had up on your computer. And the phone sometimes does the same thing. It depends on whether you've cleared the history. Sometimes this will say guest client, but I'm just going to go over some basics. If you don't have the person that you want to be scanning up here in this, then you just need to search existing client. And then the last name is always first. So I had someone who thought that all of their clients had dropped out and they were putting the first name in the first box. So they do have last name and then first name. Usually when you start putting something in that you've already put in there before, it'll come up with some things that you can do, but you can just put in the last name and then it'll show everybody that you've scanned with that last name. So just go back to me. And then the SEFI is where I'd like to spend most of our time today. So there's something in the SEFI that I knew it was here, but I've never used it before. So it's a way that you can copy things. And one of the videos that I sent was an older video, about 5 years old, of when they were using, it was before they condensed the AO scan into a mobile scanner. So they actually had different components that did each one of these things. And I've told the story before that 10 years ago, I had a friend who bought the AO scan and she invited me to do a scan, and the equipment it took for the AO scanner took up a whole room. and it cost $38,000 to buy at that time. And they've reduced that into what we're using today. So it has all of the features that that other larger machine had condensed down into this. Now, I didn't know how to do this until we just came back from a biofrequency. Well, actually, it was a muscle testing and laser detox training with Dr. Cowden down in Texas. And we have these vials of things that we can detox people with. We can, you know, and I bought the kit plus the testing kit. And he says, don't use the original kit. You have to copy these homochords. So the difference between a homopath and a homochord is a homopath starts out as a part of the disease and then they dilute it enough so that you can use it. A homochord never had that dilution. It never had any part of the disease in it. It's completely frequency, because every disease, every well feature in our body has a frequency, and they know what those frequencies are. So the detox kit we bought from Dr. Cowden is homochords made from frequencies, and we can copy these. So I'm going to show you how to do that on the AO scan. It's pretty cool. Just press on the imprint, and then it comes up with 2 boxes, and we put this is where I always get confused. And I'm gonna, after we're done, I'm gonna make note of who's here and send it out and make sure I know. But I believe you put the one that you're copying here, and then the one that you're gonna copy into on the bottom. And I meant to take a screenshot of the directions, because that pretty sure that's it. You put the one that the thing that you're copying here. So let's say you wanted to copy, I don't know, let's say ibuprofen. And you can do that. You can put it here, and then you can copy it to here into something else. So it's not going to put it into the scanner. It's going to, like, you don't want the, well, I don't want the side effects of ibuprofen, so I don't take it. I also don't take aspirin or anything like that. But you could take some sugar pellets or a water, and you could scan the frequency of that thing into the water or the sugar pellets. I have a bottle of sugar pellets here, so you could put the whole bottle on there, or you could just put 5 or 6 on there. You could just put 1 on there. You can do the same thing with jewelry, just about anything. You can take the frequency of one thing that you have physically and put it in this. So this is not something that I've used a lot. I'm going to use it because when my detox kit actually gets here, I had to have it shipped. I'm going to do some copying. Sorry about that. I'm going to do some copying of that. So that's just one of the things that the AO scanner SEFI can do. So that's at the very top. I'm going to back out of there and go back into SEFI. So my favorite part of the SEFI is the custom playlist, but we're not going to start with that. I'm going to show you each of these categories first, because you kind of have to know the categories in order to make the custom playlist. So I'll show you what I do very often to make a custom playlist. I go into each of the categories, and I have myself up here as the target, and I just push the scan button, and it tells me what the top thing is here that I need. So resolve comes up for me. So I would write down resolve. And I'm just going to do it exactly like I do it when I make a playlist. So now I'm going to use, because it takes less buttons, I'm just going to use the back button here. And that'll bring me right back to this SEFI playlist. So the next category here is quantum frequency. That one doesn't have a scan button. But what it does have is a whole things that you can scan through. I'm sorry, someone's not muted. Are you trying to say something or should I mute you? Oh. Sorry, I have my controls in the way. So let's see. I'm not sure. I'm not hearing it anymore. So whoever it was probably muted. So in this one,
Heather?
we'll be able to, yeah.
Which SEFI button did you choose to get into this?
This one is the
This one.
frequency. So quantum frequency. It's the second,
Okay,
well, it's actually the third one down. It's the second one down after custom playlist.
got it. Thank you.
Yeah, so this is a super long list. And like even like right now I can't search. I'll show you the search when we get into the custom playlist. It's easier to search. And I kind of like making custom playlists on the computer because I can use the search button. But I'm gonna do this again. I'm gonna get out of here. And I'm going to go to the next thing that I can search with, I mean scan with. So quantum affirmations, third one down. So we've done quantum reach, quantum frequency, quantum affirmations. This one also has a scan button. So again, when I scan and I'm in the target, it's going to say what I need most. So antibiotics is something that's coming up for me. Now I don't want to take antibiotics. Sorry. There we go. I don't want to take antibiotics, but if I take the frequency of antibiotics, I'll get the benefits of it without the side effects. I'm not going to kill all my gut bacteria, but I'm going to get the benefits of the antibiotics. So again, quantum flowers is another place where we can go and do a scan. So we go in there, press the scan, and it'll come up with this. Now the flowers are connected to emotions, but there's a flower for each emotion. So this vervain has to do with overbearing. So I can back out of there, go to the next one that I can scan with, which is the quantum chakras, and it'll tell me which one I need most. So that one's the sacral. Now with homeopathics, which is the next one, I can search by symptom. So whatever symptom I've had, which actually, I wouldn't know what, I don't know what kind of acne is what kind of, sorry. Let's do this because I've had a headache. I don't necessarily want to do cluster headaches, but it's kind of sticking me with that. That's not what I want. Wasn't what I meant to do at all. So I'm going to back out of there because it's not doing what I wanted to do. Just go back in here by symptom. So it just wants to go straight there. I've never had that happen before. But just as an example, if headache, cluster headaches was what I was looking for, and I press scan, it's going to reorder these 4 things in the order that I need them. So the Bryonia alba stays on top. All right, so this energy energetics doesn't have a scan button, but I want to show you that this is where all the detox and support, well, it's definitely where all the detox frequencies are. So when you see bacteria detox, dental detox, you're going to find those in energy and, I'm sorry, it's called homeoenergetics. Energy homeoenergetics is what the title says. But you also will find adrenal support, trace mineral complete, which is over 70 minerals in one frequency. Ultimate emotions, which includes all of the Bach flower remedies, plus some other emotional remedies. What else is here for support? Most of them are detox, and there's just a few support. So there's support for the heart, mammary support, and then most of the rest are detox. And you'll see that some of them are known miasms, and a miasm is something you inherited. So with everything I just wrote down, I'm going to go in to custom playlist and make a custom playlist. And the reason I do that is because I can put all of the frequencies in at one playlist and play them all together. So I'm going to put in HJ, which is me, and then I'll just put in 5, 10, 23. And then I go back into all the categories that I just scanned for, and resolve was the first one that came up. So I put that one in. And when I put it in, it's green here. And if I scroll up, it shows up here. So then I'm going to close that one. Now I could, if I don't have to just stick with the one it came up, I can pick some of these other ones if I want. Immune support, health, strength, and recovery. Those are some of my favorites. Pain-free is another really good one for me. But I'm just going to stick with what it went with. Except for right here. This is the one I told you that when you're in the custom playlist on a computer, it's really helpful to be able to search. So I can do Control F on my PC. And I was doing this with someone else earlier. I put in infla, like just got to infla and saw that there's 17. So there's 17 things with inflammation. There's bladder inflammation, colon inflammation, eye inflammation, gonad inflammation, gums inflamed, heart, testicles, inflammation of the breast, joints, kidney, liver, nerve, oral inflammation, skin inflammation, testes, throat. Kind of thought we already did those. And then we're back to bladder. So anything you want to search for, it doesn't let you search in the other one. Like if I had I've tried from there and I'm like, geez, I thought I could search. This is where you can search. So it's a wonderful way to be able to search through because there's so many of them. So if I were looking, like I'll go back to nerve inflammation. I definitely have some nerve inflammation in my face going on. So I will highlight that one. And then I like to close each category as I do it instead of leaving them all open because it makes this page much harder to navigate. So then we'll go to the quantum affirmations, and I wrote that one down. It said I needed an antibiotic. Hopefully that helps with the nerve inflammation in my face. So then I close that one up. And again, I could look through these, and if I feel like something would benefit me, I can put it in. This is my playlist. I can do whatever I want with it. So I'm going to go into the flowers. And if you remember, that one was vervain. So here it is. And most of them are in alphabetical order. So then there's the sacral chakras is the one that I needed. So we'll just choose that one and close that one up. And then I went into homeopathics and I got that Bryonia alba. So we would find that in here.
I mean, they were already done.
So there it is. And they're all in alphabetical order. But if you don't find the one you're looking for, It's because they have them split up. So there's
Yeah,
homeopathics,
Back in.
there's nosodes, and there's cell salts. So let's say when I was scanning, Silicea came up. It would not be in homeopathics. I happen to know that one because it's one of my favorites. It's in cell salts. But so are there's only, you know, what is there, 9 or 10 here, maybe 12. But I'm going to add Silicea here. And then in the nosodes, also not a very long list, where the homeopathics is a very long list. So again, if you can't find it in homeopathics, come look in the nosodes and cell salts. And then in energy homeopathics, I'm going to choose the dental detox. So I do feel like that's the one I need most. But I love to put in ultimate emotions, not vaccination, trace mineral. But you could do a vaccination detox if you wanted to, but I also love this adrenal support one. So that all the supports, one detox. And then you could go in here. There is some from the inner voice. I don't usually use these in the SEFI, but you could play them from here. You can make a playlist of them if you want. There's things from the quick scan. So all the 3-minute clips that you can do from the quick scan, you can also add to a playlist here if you wanted. So if you like listening to more than one of them and you want to put them in a playlist, you can do that. But when you're done, just make sure that you click save, and then that playlist will wind up here. Now, as you make playlists, hopefully your list will look a lot like mine, where there's a bunch of things you can pick from, and you pick the one that you need most. I've told a lot of people, if I put sleep in something, I usually try and put it in the title, so I don't accidentally do a playlist that has some sleep aids in it and feel sleepy in the middle of the day. And you don't want to make a playlist that has both sleep aids and energy. You don't want to do things that contradict, because then you can make a person really tired. You can make a person just not feel good with opposite frequencies. So you don't want to do that. I know Lauren told a story of when he was loading all these frequencies in, he was doing it without protection of himself. And he was loading one after another after another. And the next day after doing that, he didn't feel so good. So he called in and he had somebody else on the job of scanning more in, and he came in the day after that and she was out sick. So if you're doing too many frequencies or too many that contradict each other, it can make you not feel good. So don't make 10 playlists and do them all in one day. Start slow, and I'll show you how you can do that too. So now I have a playlist. How am I going to play it? Usually for a playlist like this, I'm going to put it on simultaneous, so they're all playing at the same time. And you can start with 20 seconds or you can start with 2 minutes. The imprint is usually the volume has to be on and you're imprinting something. So you could play the 2-minute broadcast and stop it after 30 seconds. You don't have to go the full 2 minutes. Like if I'm playing this, I know you guys can't hear that, but I can. So I'm going to just mute if I can. My controls are in the way. Sorry. Totally distracting. But okay, so if you're imprinting, you want to have the volume up. If you're broadcasting, the volume can be off. So you could play this one, and just watch your clock and say after 30 seconds, I'm going to stop it. So then just stop it. And then you could see how you feel in a couple of hours and come back and do it for another 30 seconds and try and get that 2 minutes in during the day. And as long as you did all right with that, try the whole 2-minute broadcast the next day. When you have it on simultaneous, it will actually take 2 minutes to send these. If you have this on individual, it will do each of these frequencies for 2 minutes. So if I think I have 10 of them here, 3, 6, 9, 11. So it would take 22 minutes total. So you will notice that if you have it on individual, it will take a little bit longer. And then you can do the continuous broadcast, but I don't suggest starting with that. And I always suggest, if in your supplement suggestions, a detox comes up to do, put it in a playlist like this with a lot of support. The best way to do a detox, because you have that other support helping you out. So now I'm going to check chat again and see if we got any questions. Nothing yet. Quiet night? Or are they all going to come in later? Does anybody have any questions? If you want to unmute, that's fine.
Yeah, I have a question, Heather.
Absolutely.
Did you go through each of those, the quantum reach frequencies, and hit scan where you can and just like choose the first thing that came up, and then you loaded those into this new custom playlist?
That's what I did just now. Yep.
Here's
Yeah,
my
so
dog.
Yeah. Aren't they awesome? He's a big one though.
Yeah, she's a sheepdog.
Very beautiful. Yeah. So yeah, that is what I did. So all the ones I can go through it again. So the ones
Okay,
that you
so
can
just
scan with are reach, affirmation, flowers, chakras, and then in homeopathics, once you choose a symptom, you can scan and it reorders them.
okay, and the 20-second imprint, is that like imprinted into water?
Yep, you can imprint it into water or a sugar pill or anything you want, like jewelry.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks. All right, I'll mute now.
All right. Anybody else have questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
I have not purchased the AOL system, and I'm just wondering if there's any testimonials that I can draw out of this group to convince me to invest.
Who wants to speak up? Would anybody like to speak up? It'll
Dawn, we can't hear you. It looks like you're trying to talk. That's what kind of convinced me to get it, is that Dawn can talk now, and she couldn't a year ago.
I emailed you, Heather, my testimonial. You want to read it?
Did you email? Oh, you did. That's right. I haven't had a chance to look at it, but I saw something from you. Hang on a second. Yeah.
Me-
Yeah, I think I just got it yesterday or
When I love the optimization and the supplement recommendation and the detox frequency, and now the inner voice. I mean, it's just an awesome piece of equipment. I mean, I've had it over 1 year, but I wasn't really using it to its full potential until you. And then the day of discovery, when they announced the new inner voice, otherwise I wasn't using that at all. So if I have been using all of it from a year ago, who knows?
yeah, well, now we're just moving forward, getting
Mhm.
better every day, right?
Thanks, Dawn.
Yeah. So I forgot I was still sharing my screen. So I'm sure if you see the screen share, you can see Todd's email to me right there, but I'll read it out loud. So she said, I've noticed more improvements in functionality and strength starting late in the year 2022 must have been, right? Yeah, 20, than in any other period, thanks to new tools. As of May 2023, my healing toolkit includes the AO scan, LifeWave patches, iTerracare wand, and an assortment of meditation and energy healing tools. My speech strength and agility have all improved dramatically. My legs move faster when I walk. I can stand up faster with more balance. I have more energy and I'm happier. Also, my neck is straighter and I have less pain in my neck and teeth. My skin looks amazing, firmer and more moisturized. Love it. Love it. Keep getting better every day, Dawn. Awesome. Anybody else want to share testimonies, even if it's just like something that you're doing with the AO scan that maybe you couldn't do before, or food sensitivities? I know, Margot, you've talked about being able to look at what's coming up for Dave with sensitivities. Naomi, have you done an AO scan? Have you had one done for you?
No, I haven't.
Okay. All right. That's a good place to start, because when I had my first one done, it's a good way to build belief is when you see things that are actually going on with you that come up in the scanner. Couple of things in chat. Okay.
I found, Joe shared the other day that he had some salmon, and then I think, was it the same day? He got a radioactive detox come up on his scan, and I thought, oh, interesting, because Fukushima, and we only buy wild caught Alaskan salmon, so there's some of that. So I've also, our naturopath has said, you have an AO scanner? Really? Send me some scans. So she's really interested in it too. Joe hasn't noted anything gotten better yet, but we've only had it for a couple of months and we're still learning it. But I like the data that's available, and being able to put it onto Excel and make those comparisons, which I haven't been able to successfully do that yet because I'm on a laptop, I've got a computer, and getting him to email stuff sometimes can be a challenge. So anyway, I have good hopes for it. And
Thank you. Thanks, Connie, for sharing. Yeah. And I told Joe I would do a comparison, and I had time this afternoon. And then by the time I got both of them, it was too late, but I'm gonna do it after this. So I'm gonna take those two that I have, and I'll do a comparison for you guys. All right. And for me, when I first started using the AO scan, we were heading into winter, and this was my last winter in New York. We now have moved down to Florida, but I always had a hard time going into winter. But that summer I had been bit by 3 ticks. So I really thought I was going into winter, and I was getting sick. I wasn't feeling well. I was looking for a way to monitor what was going on with me, and found out that I was using the Zytoscan with a practitioner, but I had to pay per scan, and the price of the scan had gone up again. So I was looking for another way to do what the Zytoscan used to do, which is monitor what's going on with our health. So I'm gonna just show some of the ways that the AO scan does that. You know, whoops, sorry. The top controls of the Zoom get in the way of being able to click on anything. So when you go into the vitals, The food sensitivities are actually new as of last fall. We didn't have those before, but there's a ton of them. So I'm going to scroll right past the food sensitivities and get into things like we want to know what's going on with our blood and then our fatty acids. And then here's the chakras, which Dr. Tennant explains that the chakras are like our battery packs. We want to be able to go positive to negative all the way through. And if there's a disconnect somewhere, then our energy isn't flowing through our body and we can't heal correctly. So we want to make sure, and this shows that 4 of my chakras were out of alignment before this scan, and they all came back into green, which is good. So just the frequencies from the scan are balancing that out. And then these are acupuncture meridians. Most things balanced out there, but what was that? The triple warmer did not. But if you want to come down here and just look and see what's going on, you can read into what is happening on that. So you're seeing the frequency of what's going on in your body. So we got digestive function, inflammation, insulin resistance, pancreas, and then breaking down nutritional. So we've got amino acids, digestive acids, micro and macro minerals, vitamins, and then we've got some genetic SNPs here. I remember when I had this testing done, it was an incredible amount of money to have the testing done. We can just see where that is on the day because energy changes. So something going on with me with pH balance, but physical functionality. So, if we see something that is out of balance here, we can do something about it. Definitely something that has been out of balance here for me, coming back a little bit on the left. Collagen index, endocrine glands, hormones, immune system, kidney function, thyroid function. And then this is my favorite part of the whole vital scan. We got all that other information, but we can come here and we can see what bacterial diseases are out of balance, what funguses. Definitely got candida coming back in, but I had some pizza, so I shouldn't do that. And you can look at this and you can say, what's going on in my life, and then human toxins. So it's going to show hair products. It's going to show if you've got EMF going on, drugs and medication, different things like that. Minerals. So these are the minerals that we should watch for. So my mercury is definitely out of balance. That makes sense. Molds. I got to stop making house calls. Parasites. And then we've got viruses. So that's just the vital scan. There's 3 other scans plus the frequencies that we went over tonight. So it's a lot that you can do with it. Cindy asked, do you have to do an easy scan first? And do you have to wear the headset? For the SEFI, you do not have to do an easy scan first. You can put someone in and you can send them frequencies without ever having done any kind of a scan on them. Hi, Suzanne, you're unmuted. You have questions?
We do an easy scan about 4 or 5 times a day. Tap on the X, please.
Okay.
We have it. It's going on my phone. It's going on my phone as well as the wait.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
You guys are
Can you hear
echoing.
us?
Yeah, do you have 2 devices open?
I do. I just got off of the one, put it in another room then.
All right.
Yeah, can you just mute it? Yeah, I can look for it and mute it. I'll look for the other one. I don't want to mute the one that you're talking on though.
Right.
Yeah. I can always I can't.
Take it
Okay.
into another room. What do you
I
mean?
can't. Oh, there, yeah. Oh, it is muted. I think we're okay now. Try it.
Please take it away. I can still hear it. Thank you. Okay, so I do 4 or 5 of these every day. And then I just play the music afterwards. But
Yeah.
there are things, I talked to Dr. Weber. He said before I talk to him again, he wants me to run a comprehensive, and he wants me not to tell him everything that was denied. He wants to know what are 1s and 2s, because those are the things that affect me chronically, that my
Yeah.
body isn't adjusting to. So I've been trying to notice those. Certain, what do you call them? Parasites keep showing up regularly. And I shouldn't have those because we take a natural anti-wormer that we got in Africa, and we grow it ourselves here. And we really feel like it's very effective, but hookworms keep showing up over and over and over. So I'm wondering, the other thing is I had Hep A when my daughter was born 38 years ago, and it keeps showing up. Sometimes Hep A is an 8, and sometimes it's a 1 or a 2. So obviously my liver has stored that information for a long time. So I hardly know what to think about some of those things. The chakras, it always corrects on its own. I rarely go to bed without my chakras being fixed. And the same for the meridians. Sometimes triple burner or the main vessel, whatever that one is. I don't
Yeah,
understand.
the governing
exactly what that-
vessel.
Governing
Yeah.
vessel, that's right, thank you.
Yeah.
Is off. But then I go always and look at the metals. Mercury has showed up high about 5 or 6 times.
Mhm.
And I wonder, since I'm taking a detox pill, if it's coming out of my bones finally and my head, and that could be the reason.
Yeah.
I just have so many questions. I'm glad
Yeah.
it's working. I just would like to know, to understand more.
Yeah.
Um,
So, you said that he wants to know the ones in the comprehensive, right? Not in the vitals. Is that what he said?
yes, but I
Dr.
always
Webb?
run the easy scan.
Yeah,
He wants me to run the comprehensive 3 times in the last week before I see him again, which is
Okay.
the 24th of May. So
Okay.
I will run those and take
So you're
note
gonna
of,
you're gonna go in, actually, instead of going in through the easy scan, you're gonna go in through the comprehensive, right? And do it
comprehensive.
that way?
Yes,
Yeah. Now, does he want you to run a full comprehensive?
he
Is that what he
didn't
said?
say very specifically. We're
Yeah.
realizing now he prescribed some medicines for me.
Uh-huh.
He found that I have a virus in the sacral and lumbar part of my spine. And so
Mhm.
he prescribed medicine for that. Then he said there were things that were governing my organs and my vagus nerve. And he got some combination of stuff that should return it to normal. But
Good.
the homeopathic, which was for the virus, that gave out after 2 weeks. And the one of the other medicines gave out, and now we only have 2 left. And one of those will be finished in 2 more days. So I don't know if he wants us to get more medicine, because he didn't exactly say how long the thing should go.
Yeah. I think you could probably call his office and find out if they think you should continue on it until you see him again, or if he had in mind 1 bottle of it and then see how you're doing by the time. Surprised he
Okay.
didn't tell you that. He's usually pretty detailed.
Well, calling people is not on my list of I enjoy doing this. The
Yeah.
problem is I went to boarding school in a dorm that had 1 telephone. It was hanging on a wall with a horn out of it. You put the other horn on your ear, and I only spoke on it 1 time. So I hate phones. I
Yeah.
find them to be a huge interruption. Our phones in Ethiopia didn't work. One time the phone rang, and it was the first time it had rung in 2 years. So I'm not fond of the phone.
Yeah.
So
We will do it.
you know how many times I've called you, even though I have all these questions. That's right.
Yeah. 0.
That's the reason.
But yeah, why don't we do a Zoom? Is Zoom just as bad as the phone?
No, it's not at all. I love talking to you, but I felt like I needed to call and make an appointment.
No, I'll send you my link again. You can make an appointment anytime you want. I'll send you
Okay.
my link to my calendar, and you can find a spot that works for you. Anybody here that needs extra help, I do it all the time. I don't mind doing it at all. I would rather just make sure that you're set with it. And if you aren't set by the time we're done with an appointment, let's make another appointment and get you all set with using the AO scan. I want everyone to
Okay.
be comfortable using
I
it.
guess the thing that's confusing is, okay, we say the numbers, 9 and numbers 1 and those, and yes, I get the idea of the stuff that keeps coming back. Yeah, that's something to pay attention to, but is it, okay, is it kind of, can it be say ones are chronic and 9s are acute, or how do you interpret, I guess, how do you, I guess just some clues on how to interpret the numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's something that's not said up here in the chart, but it is said in some of the trainings. So in this chart here, it shows that the lower numbers are diminishing in function, but also that usually means they're chronic. So when something has been going on for a long time, things will start not to work well. So those 2 things go together. And then on the other end of the spectrum, we have an increasing risk of inflammation, but that's usually something that's more acute. But I've also seen on people that I've been scanning and on myself that some things will teeter between 1 and 9. So you'll see that one day it'll be not in the same scan, but from day to day, they'll be out, but one day it'll be a 1 and one day it'll be a 9. So that can mean it's causing diminishing function and it's increasing in inflammation, and it's really out of balance. There's something that needs to be done about it. We need to figure it out. Like just an example of something I had just recently, iodine was out of balance and showing up out of balance, but alternating between that 1 and 9. So I put iodine into my supplements and it wasn't coming up, but I put a kelp supplement in there and that was coming up. So whether I just needed a different form of the iodine I usually take, but it seems to be balancing out there. So it's a way to be able to monitor and find out what to do about it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Trying to give you our picture, so I won't be nodding and trying to respond to what you're saying. And you can't see me. There I
There you are.
yeah,
am.
yeah.
Good to see you.
It's good to see
Yeah.
you too. Oh, that's my rice machine in the back.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Ordinarily, when
Now-
we do talks, we have this zebra skin in the back. But this is the rice machine.
And, speaking of rife, I wanted to make sure that when we were in SEFI, that I showed the complete frequency set. I'm trying to remember where it is. So, is it in here? Complete frequency set. So in quantum frequency, this complete frequency set is a huge set of rife frequencies.
Wow.
So you could, right from here, you could just send the complete frequency set, and that's another thing that you could do. I wouldn't put that one in a playlist, but I was reading up on it a little bit.
So it will do the ones appropriate for what's wrong? Is that
Right,
the
your
idea?
yeah, your body will take what it needs and leave the rest.
I see.
But it's a good one to run when you don't know what else to run and you're thinking, let's do something. This complete frequency set is a good one.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take a couple other questions. If you guys have more questions, we can take them tonight if we have time, or we can, when we get out of this meeting, I'm gonna send you an email with my calendar and we'll set up a time where we can just get.
All
through
right,
it.
I'll try really hard.
All right.
And the reason we don't show up sooner is because we have a meeting with 25 people at our home.
I know, you told me Wednesdays aren't good for
Yeah.
you. Oh, that reminds me, I am gonna start doing this one every other week, and I'm gonna do a Thursday morning every other week. So starting next week, we're not gonna have a Wednesday night meeting. We'll have one in 2 weeks. So the next one will be on the 24th, but we're gonna have a Thursday morning. And I think I'm gonna do it Thursday at noon. So at noon Eastern, so that it's not too early for Pacific people. But people in the UK and India can still make it. So I'm trying to accommodate everybody without overwhelming anybody either. I didn't want to just add another meeting. I know we have a lot of meetings already. So I'm going to read a few questions from the chat. And Margot said on the main list, it shows dental TMJ and it's not available to choose. Is that one that we purchase? I am asking because Dave has all of a sudden problems that he has not ever had before. He had his dental cleaning a month ago and it was not there, and wondering if it might have to do with his ALS and saliva. Okay, so I have done the training to be able to do the TMJ and dental. So anybody in this group that wants to have that scan done, please send me an email at heatherplude@gmail.com. I'm going to put that in the chat. So I will do a dental scan on you, dental and TMJ for Dave. So just send me an email and say, let's set that up. I'll send you the calendar, or if you have my calendar, just make an appointment and we'll do that. And yes, that comes, the dental and TMJ comes with phase 3. So you do have to go through 1, 2, and 3 to get there. So let me do it for you until you do get there, or if you never decide to get there, then we can do that too. And I can give you some other ideas for the saliva. And also I've had some really good luck lately. Now I've had a dental infection where it was hard to push, not like even touch right here. And I've been doing chiro for a couple of months because I had such bad nerve inflammation in my face. So I've been doing poultices and I've been pulling infection out, and it's been amazing. I want to do another poultice, but I just haven't had a chance to do it. But just simple things that you can get at the grocery store: potato poultice, ginger poultice, a steamed onion. So inexpensive and great to do. Anybody that wants that, send me an email. I will send you the videos that where I learned it and my notes from watching the videos. But don't just read my notes, watch the videos too, because there's so much great information. So Marilyn said, oh, Marilyn is not here right now. How can I access the recording later? She has the research. She has the research genes, probably the MTHFR. Yeah. I will post this when we get out. I try and get it to YouTube the same night. It's always on my YouTube channel, Heather Plude. And it's under Heather's Solex videos. It'll be the last one, but I also do try and send out a video link. I don't think I got it out last week, but if you don't get the link from me, just go to my YouTube channel and it's there. So Angela said, I have been using every day and it is amazing how much less is coming up. I love that. I also use the inner voice 3 times a day to help me control emotions. I experience pseudo-bulbar, so I believe it helps. I totally think so. Yeah, it's been amazing for me emotion-wise. Just things I didn't even realize that it was taking care of that I just don't react to anymore. I could never talk about a rape that happened to me when I was 18 until just a few months ago. I realized it doesn't even bother me to talk about it, and I can talk about it like it never even happened, when I used to get very emotional and not be able to talk about it. So just pretty amazing. And that's just a gradual with use. So Lisa said, I use the food sensitivities list in the AO scanner to help me decide which foods I should avoid each day. Also, my list of toxicities has gotten shorter over time, and I seem to be improving little by little every day in correlation to the reduction in my toxicities. I have been taking supplements for Lyme, and now Lyme and co-infections have not been showing up under toxicities lately. And that's what I found when I was using it. It's like, oh, all of a sudden Lyme went away, and all of a sudden Bartonella went away, and then Babesia. The stubborn one for me is that Candida. And I keep going back and having a little bit of bread, and then Candida comes back. So I got to stop that cheating with the bread. Yeah, Lisa said Suzanne sounds so much better today. Do you think so, Suzanne? Do you feel any better? I hope so. So Lisa said, I just do the easy skin. What? Was that a no?
No, I didn't say no.
Oh,
We
good.
we lost Doug. Doug had to leave us. And so we're going through a huge period of adjustment.
Yeah.
He's staying with his siblings.
Okay.
He's doing much better.
He's doing much, much better. It was
Good.
just too much.
Oh, you muted. You scared me for a minute there, though, when you said you lost. When you said you
No.
lost Doug, I was like, oh
No,
my gosh.
he's lived with us for 47 years. And now all of a sudden not to have him is
Yeah.
very painful. So
Yeah.
we're adjusting. We've
Are you
hired a
listening
care.
to are you listening to your inner voice? When you do the inner voice, you listen to the inner voice tones also?
Well, the inner voice is part of the EZ scan.
Yeah, but
So-
are you listening?
No,
Yeah. Not on.
no,
That's
not,
important.
I need to
Okay,
do that.
so, yeah, so it will look like, and when you do the easy scan, you don't have to go back into the easy scan to listen to the inner voice. You can just go to the inner voice. And you can listen right from here. but headphones and pick 3, 5, or 10 minutes. I'd start with 3 and just press this button and put the headphones on. The bone conducting headphones are best. So if you can do that twice a day and see how you're feeling, that's going to help with your emotions. That's
Okay,
Okay.
that's sending the frequencies that you need to balance out your emotions. I think that'll be a huge help.
Okay,
all right.
All right.
I,
All
but
right.
Doug,
Yeah,
with his
Doug-
siblings, he's doing much
Doug is
better.
already much better. He's been spoiled by his siblings a bunch, so that's
I'm
a
so
great thing.
glad.
He's had one
That's
cataract operation and got one next week, so he's coming along.
Good. Good. All right. Well, I'm glad he's doing better. Back to the chat. Lisa said, I just do the easy scan every day. Do you have any idea how often we can do full vitals and full body scans? Or does it not matter with these scans? I do the easy scan every day, morning and night. And then at least once a week, I do the full vitals. I might do a body scan once or twice a week. Comprehensive, the thing that when you said Dr. Weber said to do the comprehensive, that's why I asked if it was full, because they do say the full comprehensive can be pretty taxing on the body. I'll show you why. I mean, the amount of things that you can scan for. I mean, right now, only the things based on my vitals and my inner voice, but that's all the chromosomes. It starts off with all the arteries, all the chromosomes, then all the connective tissue, ears, eyes, heart, lymphatic, muscles, nerves, organs, every single organ in our body, and then skeleton and veins. Now, I've heard say only do a full comprehensive once a year. Just to, but that's just to get a good idea. Like this would be selecting everything, I can select all, I can deselect all, and I can change these, but to select everything and do it. I did hear Jerry Weber say that that's what he likes to have to do testing. So I'm not sure if he wants you to do that every 3 days. Maybe we can clarify that before the week of the 24th. That's 2 weeks out. So hopefully we can do something and figure that out. But this is the one, I wouldn't do this one too often. The body, I think you can do the body system scan as often as you want, but I don't see the need to do it more than a couple of times a week. It pulls everything together. It gives you a good idea. I love the report. So this is everything the body system scans for, all of these systems. And then the report, I love the way it gives, much like the inner voice, it gives us ways to improve. So it gives us lifestyle things that we can do to get better. That's one of my favorite things. And then recently they added this chronic and acute. So these things that are out of balance, it tells us whether they're chronic or acute. So I don't know if that truly answered the question here. Yeah. Yep. Writing down an email, send those videos too. So you guys, if you want, you can send me your email in here too, and I'll send the videos, those poultice videos. So Lisa said, FYI, the dental detox could have come up because Dave just had his teeth cleaned. As Becky said, that's Becky Coots, Kimberly, anybody that's been around, I love her training video. She said that the dental detox should be done right after a person gets their teeth cleaned or right after they had work done on their teeth. So yeah, I like to do the dental detox with other things. So let's go into the SEFI and my custom playlist. When you do, I've got a couple of different ones in here. So dental, this first one, dental detox. Bunches of things that were good for, I don't know if you can see my dog jumping, but there's that one. And then I've got this dental detox, which doesn't have a lot. We were just working on that with someone today, and I didn't put a lot in that one. I think I have one more. This dental edge. Yeah, so this one here, for me, a lot of it's been pain control. I didn't even put the dental detox in here, just a bunch of things to try and pull what I believe is toxins that are in my, I have a lot of cavitations in my mouth. So, Margot said, I looked in the quantum homeopathics and searched for itching, could not find it there. Where would it be listed? I know, let's see, back. I'm pretty sure itching is in here. And this is quantum frequency. Itching. And let's go into, because remember I said that you can search it when you're in the custom playlist. So if I go here and I go to make one, and then I open this one, I can put itch here. So there's two. Oh, and they both have to do it. So, and they have toes and feet there. But I wonder if allergy, oops. Or skin. So sometimes we have to just think of it another way. Skin inflammation could be the reason for the itching, right? Skin problems, fibrous tissue under the skin. Not really that, but so depending on where the itching is and does it have inflammation with it? So just think of it some other ways. And let me just get out of that for a minute. And oops. Got this weird thing. I wonder if it's because I'm not in the right browser. It's just not letting me. Usually I can put a thing in here and it just automatically goes to stuff. I don't know. It might be just the browser I'm using. By the way, the AO scan does work best with the Chrome browser, and I am in Edge right now. So I'll let you know, Margot. I'm going to write a note on itching, and I'll let you know what I can come up with for frequencies on that. So Lisa said mushrooms came up double red along with Candida albicans today, and I've been avoiding mushrooms for a long time because of having Candida and mold. But I really want to start taking lion's mane because a lot of pals have done well with it. Should I just enter it in my library? Yep, in my library and see if it comes up as a recommendation. Yes, that is exactly what I would do. I would go in here to supplements. I would add it, just put in lion's mane. Add it in with general. You don't have to do anything else. You can put in here a dose quantity, like 1 teaspoon, and see if that comes up, and then just save right from there. And then just don't forget, because after you add something, I'm going to select all, and you're going to see that lion's mane is down here with a check next to it. So if you don't add it to your library after, so you're just going to select all and then scroll down the bottom and add to client. So when you add something to your library, just don't forget to add it to your library. You put it in there, and then you have to go in and select it and put it in your things that are going to show up for your scan. Hopefully that made sense. All right, so I don't see any more questions in the chat. And if we don't have any more questions, I'm gonna call it a day and go say happy birthday to my husband again and sit with him for a little while. So. Oh, one more. Oh, wait. Couple more. All right, Carl said, when you scan supplements, do you have to be far away from EMF signals? Or does that not affect the scan? So I would not do it on top, like, I would not put my phone on top of my laptop and do it from there. Every EMF is gonna affect another, so you don't want to do it. I wouldn't say far, far away, but I would say you don't want to do it on top of it, that's for sure. But the phone itself has very little EMFs, but yeah, I would try and avoid, like, don't put it on top of your router or something, and don't put it on top of your laptop. Don't be right next to your laptop when you're doing it. And even with your scans, that can affect your scans too. I'll tell a little story about my husband was scanning one day and also doing the wand, and his scans were messed up. And I didn't trust a thing that was on him. Everything was just, I mean, there were some weird things, some things 100% from ideal and some things 0% from ideal. So I do think that different frequencies can definitely affect the scan. So I wouldn't mix too much. Margot said, in the vitals report, where does it connect the previous scan? We clear the cache every day. Vitals report, where does it connect the previous scan? So you're only going to be able to get one scan from your scanner at a time. Oh, that's what you mean. It doesn't do it in the, so you have to email it to yourself and then put it in an Excel spread. It comes in an Excel spreadsheet when you email it to yourself. So you can take that and then just compare a couple of different vitals reports. So I think that's what you're talking about, Margot. Set up a Zoom with me, Margot. I haven't talked to you in a long time. I'd love to see how you're doing with, I know you're doing the AO scan a lot more, and I'd love to support you in any way I can. So Carl then asked, can you scan supplements in with your phone, or do you need to wait for the phone from Solex? So I'll tell you where I learned this really smart trick. Really smart lady named Lisa Bean, who's hopefully still with us tonight. But she was the first one to do this, and I think it's a great suggestion, is putting all your supplements in on your computer, and then when your Solex device gets there, you can just scan it all in. You can bring up each thing and edit it and scan them in. I would wait until you have the Solex device for the scanning in of the supplements. I think it's going to be more accurate with the Solex device. But you can very easily go in here and just, put in the name, put in the category, get it all ready. And then when your Solex device comes in, you just do quick scans. And you can put pills and capsules right on top of the device, but things like powders and liquids and oils use some kind of a glass container to put those in when you scan them in. All right, with that, I'm going to say goodnight and love you all. Have a good night. You're welcome. Bye-bye.